to become scouts and guides is a very, very big responsibility in my opinion. It's a responsibility that we take in our childhood for the nation, as I was hearing, and also understanding from the first anthem which was sung today. And very clearly the service that scouts and guides provide are fundamental. Today I am invited here. I would like to, especially in the dais, everyone, I would like to mention my friend Raj Basu, who has been working with me in this direction. I think from 1995 we have been working together. Mr. Jogendra Prasad, who has invited me, personally talked with me, and all the people who are here, I think, and all the participants who are present today. I felt very nice while sitting there, and I felt that's a forum of diversity. People here, they spoke in Bengali, Nepali, Hindi, and English. I can speak at least in 3 of them, but I think for the benefit of all of you, I have chosen to speak in English. See, I think you have heard so much of achievement. One thing I would like to say, scouts and guides, if I remember correctly, and when the progress was being presented, the unit, I think St. Alphonsus is one unit, if I understand. Yes. And in that we had a troop leader. I was at some point of time troop leader, and we had 2 to 3 patrol leaders, and we had other members. So around 30 to 40 students from one school in Karshong. And I remember then Scott Mission, St. Alphonse, St. Joseph's, Ramakrishna School, and then Pusparani. So these were the major schools, and you can imagine in Karshong itself, there were about 200 to 300 or even up to 500 very active members. And I remember what I learned in my scouts, it still helped me in my life, in my work that I do. One thing is discipline, I think, which we learn in scouts. Other thing, always reach before time. So that is what I learned in scouts. And we had so much of activities. I remember Chanbari ma hamro camp, and camp 3 दिन 4 दिन, and so much camp afai tent afai lagaउँथ्यो. So to become practical, आफ्नो काम आफै गर्नुपर्छ भन्ने कुरो. So all these came from our childhood very much. अर्को सेन्ट्रल फन्ड्स स्कुल, अहिले फन्डिङ म्याडमले भन्नुहुँदै थियो फन्डिङ स्कुलले दियोस्. If I remember correctly, all our funding were coming from the schools mostly, contribution, not by individuals, but the school was giving in those days. And whole sponsorship of 3 to 4 days camping, school camping in Woodcourt. त्यो त बुथ हाउस भन्थ्यो, बुथको घर जस्तो थियो भन्थ्यो पहिला, कोही बस्दैन थियो. So we used to go and spend time with the children, I mean all of us, and we used to go to forest. Your knot banneदेखि लिएर tracking signage, all those things, they are so important in life. So this will tell you how to design things, how to see forward, how to plan, all those things we learned in the school. And we were cooking ourselves in those camps. So it is working together, coming together, and developing fellowships amongst the students. Another thing, by being in the hills, always scouts and guides we were together. I never hesitated to talk to a woman, although I was sent off once at that time was boys' school. But because the guides and this thing, we were in camps together, there was no hesitation. This is also very important in our life, learning when I moved. So when I went to Banaras Hindu University, it's such a difficult place where boys can normally don't talk to the girls. In that situation, I never had any hesitation because scouts gave me that opportunity in here. So just trying to take so much of exposure, so much of things which we learned. I think today what is a problem in our society everywhere. I think our children are too much in social media. They are using too much of mobiles or television. There is so much of distraction from the real world. So they are all artificial. All these are artificial. They are there, but they will not be able to do anything in that. So that's useful to get the information, but that should not take everything. So in Scouts and Guides, I think number one thing is I see very, as many of you reported, sad to see very less number of people. I think we should try to have more membership, and more membership can come through motivations. So I think the motivation can come from looking into the values of his Scouts and Guides. As I mentioned already, so many values. So like that, there are enormous values here. If we are able to make some posters, so convince parents have a very important role if they are able to sell their children for Scouts and Guides. So what I am here, I never thought that I have worked for any awards. All those awards were mentioned, as Rajji knows, and many of you also know me. I always worked very much, and work is worship. If you see my WhatsApp, it is also there. My daughter always, when I opened a long time ago, and that has come from because I was a Scout. And I always tried from petrol leader to become a troop leader. All those we had step by step. And so I think from the childhood, lots of things can be learned as a Scouts and Guides. And today when I meet Asa Mukhya in Karshon, she was also Guides. And my connection with her and talk to her with that freedomness, because we were together in the same group. And you'll not imagine, in Karshon, Scouts and Guides were the driving force in any event. We used to have football matches coming from Nepal, from all those districts in Gothals. All the gates we were managing tickets, we were collecting, we were guarding. So we were automatically mobilized, all of us, from all the schools, it's not from one school. 15 August, major programs. 26 January, major programs. All these. And on top of that, of course, Jamboree is a big attraction, which was mentioned. And now I hear state also programs are there. I think there are lots of opportunities. The distraction has to be addressed. I think that is the fundamental problem right now in our society. For many things, our children are distracted. They are in more other things than the real world things. So today, I like to say, there are few young children, I think they should be able to influence their friends to become members, and if in whatever way I can contribute for the Scouts and Guides, I will be very, very pleased. Now, few more words in my professional career. This was professionally, I think I have spent my whole life working for the mountains and for the people living in the mountains. So for that, being a scientist, I always connected also people. So that is one thing which helped me very much. Then I remained on the ground. So that is one thing. I think that's very important. And I feel very happy. We are in such a place where the whole world should look at. Why? Because the Hindu Kush Himalayan region is the greatest mountain system in the world. You look Carpathians, you look Alps, you look Arctic region, you look at the South American Andes, any mountains in the world. This is the greatest mountain. The example is very much, I was working also very closely as a partner with NASA. I think most of you know NASA, you were some of the space program. And NASA administrator came to Kathmandu to our office, and we worked together. Administrator means NASA administrator almost equal to the president. That is such a big position. Such people we were interacting. And he was also astronaut. And next time another astronaut comes, and when he's giving a small lecture, he says that when I am seeing from the space, the Earth, there is only one place which I can see from my naked eye, that is the Hindu Kush Himalayan region. So he was telling the magnanimous of the magnificent mountains of the Hindu Himalayan region. That is symbolic, means so important for the planet Earth. So that is what I will say. And now, if you see such a small area, it is only 4.3 million square kilometer area in the world, millions in this region. But 240 million people live in the mountains. 2 billion people are in the river basins. The current population of the world is 8 billion. Out of that, 25% is only in the river basins of these 10 major rivers which are coming from the Hindu Ocean. That clearly shows how important. And this is the most irrigated, Gangetic plain, Indus plain, and all these rivers which I mentioned. That is the most irrigated region in the world. And the food which is produced from this caters to 3 to 4 billion people, half of humanity. Out of 8 billion, almost 4 billion people somehow are directly or indirectly connected with food security. That means how important this mountain region is. So scouts and guides also we have to understand, if we are coming from this region, Siliguri, Tarai, the basins and mountains, I think we should also start talking about such important things. Why we are so important as the region, and then why our responsibility as scouts and guides to keep track of what is happening to the mountains, what is happening to our environment. Somebody talked about tree plantation. This is only one part. Waste management is another one. As scouts and guides, if we are able to bring awareness on our waste management in the Karsham town, I see so much of blood just because the garbage is not managed. So there are many issues. So what I am trying to say, just camping or having some, let the scouts be very active in the cause of environment, very active in the cause of nature, because after all, nature, environment is very linked for us. Our sustainability is with the nature and environment.